James Coburn was the ultimate cinematic archetype of the 1960s, lean, sharp, and possessing an ironic cool that made him a global icon. From the knife-throwing expert in The Magnificent Seven to the suave spy in Our Man Flint, Coburn's craggy face and deep, amused voice defined a new kind of Hollywood masculinity. But behind the steely gaze and the Academy Award-winning talent was a man who lived by a strict personal code, a code that famously led him to skip the funeral of one of his most legendary co-stars, Yul Brynner. Today on Royal Time of Hollywood, we explore the life of James Coburn, his battle with a career-threatening illness, and the deeply personal resentment that kept him away from Yul Brynner's final farewell. The making of a stoic legend. James Harrison Coburn III was born on August 31, 1928, in Laurel, Nebraska. His early years were a world away from the glitz of Tinseltown. His father ran a garage and struggled with alcoholism, an environment that forced young James to develop a fierce sense of independence and resilience. After a stint in the U.S. Army as a radio operator, Coburn utilized the GI Bill to study drama, eventually training under the legendary Stella Adler. Adler taught him that truth and silence often speak louder than dialogue. This restraint became Coburn's trademark. He spent the 1950s paying his dues in television westerns like Gunsmoke and The Twilight Zone, but it was the 1960 classic The Magnificent Seven that changed everything. As the silent, lethal Brit, Coburn didn't need many lines to steal the show. He didn't swagger, he observed. Hollywood had found its new anti-hero. The feud Coburn versus Brynner. The absence of James Coburn at Yul Brynner's funeral in 1985 puzzled many. Both were titans of the screen, yet Coburn's decision to stay away was a calculated act of integrity. "I didn't go because I didn't feel welcome there in spirit," Coburn later admitted. "People expect you to show up and pretend that history didn't happen, but I don't live that way." The roots of this bitterness traced back to the set of The Magnificent Seven. While the world saw a masterpiece, Coburn saw a power struggle. Yul Brynner, fresh off the success of The King and I, was the undisputed king of the set, and according to Coburn, he used that power to diminish his co-stars. "He dominated everything," Coburn recalled. "It wasn't enough to be good. He had to be bigger than everyone else in the room." Coburn described an atmosphere of calculation, where Brynner would use camera placement, blocking, and rehearsal behavior to ensure the spotlight never shifted to the younger actors. For a man like Coburn, who valued collaboration and mutual respect, Brynner's competitiveness felt like cruelty. "I don't hate many people," Coburn said bluntly, "but I hated the way he treated people." To Coburn, attending the funeral would have been a polite lie. He believed respect had to be earned in life, and no amount of eulogies could erase the memory of how Brynner made his colleagues feel. A career interrupted. The battle with arthritis. As the 1970s arrived, Coburn faced a challenge far more daunting than a difficult co-star: severe rheumatoid arthritis. At the height of his fame, the disease left him in constant, agonizing pain and nearly unable to walk. For years, he vanished from the screen, leading many to believe his career was over. During this dark period, Coburn found solace and strength in an unlikely place: martial arts. He became a dedicated student and a close personal friend of the legendary Bruce Lee. Their bond was philosophical as much as physical. Coburn credited the discipline of martial arts with helping him manage his pain and maintain his inner balance. When Bruce Lee died suddenly in 1973, Coburn's grief was immense. Unlike his stance on Brynner, Coburn showed his deep loyalty to Lee by serving as a pallbearer at his funeral. It was a testament to the type of man Coburn was. He stood by those who earned his respect and stayed away from those who didn't. The Great Comeback and the Oscar. In the 1990s, after undergoing unconventional treatments that regained his mobility, Coburn staged one of the most remarkable comebacks in history. Age had only deepened his gravitas. In 1999, he finally received the ultimate validation, winning the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Affliction. Playing a violent, emotionally corrosive father, Coburn was terrifying. He didn't use grand theatrical outbursts. He used the posture and silence he had mastered decades earlier. The Oscar wasn't just a win for a single role, it was a long overdue acknowledgement of a lifetime of lived experience. A poetic and tragic ending. Behind the tough guy, exterior was a man of deep devotion. After his first 20-year marriage to Beverly Kelly ended in 1979, Coburn found a soulmate in actress Paula Murad. They married in 1993 at the Palace of Versailles, a romantic setting for a union built on mutual respect and philanthropy. Together, they established the James and Paula Coburn Foundation to give back to the arts and charitable causes. James Coburn's life came to a close on November 18, 2002. In a moment that feels painfully poetic, he suffered a fatal heart attack while sitting in his Beverly Hills home, listening to music and cradled in the arms of his wife, Paula. He was 74. The tragedy deepened less than 2 years later. On July 30, 2004, Paula Coburn passed away from cancer at the age of 48. Their love story, though cut short by fate, remained one of the most stable and devoted partnerships in an industry known for volatility. The legacy of authenticity. James Coburn lived and died by his own rules. He refused to be a manufactured star, he refused to let illness break his spirit, and he refused to participate in the polished facades of Hollywood funerals. He was a man of the truth, even when that truth was uncomfortable. As Coburn himself once said, "Some people remember you for your greatness. Others remember you for how you made them feel. That's the part you don't escape." What do you think? Was James Coburn right to skip Yul Brynner's funeral out of a sense of integrity, or should he have let the past stay in the past? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lives of Hollywood's most magnetic icons, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Royal Time of Hollywood. Hit the bell notification